Good evening, everyone. My name is Maria Maldonado, and tonight I will be talking about basic employment. To start off, I will be giving you examples of basic requirements that employers have you do before you are hired. Then I will talk about compensation. What are some ways you may be getting paid by your employer? And lastly, I will give you some of the rights that you have as an employee from your employer. Now, to begin, eligibility for employment. So, one and foremost, absolutely, you do need to complete an I-9. And I-9 is used to verify who you are and that you are authorized to work in the United States. And that does consist of two forms of ID, and it can be, for example, a driver's license, an ID used with the birth certificate or social security card, or you can even use a passport or your permanent resident card, just depending what you have. Now, another requirement that not all employers do, but many do require, is to take a drug test. Now, a drug test is just to ensure that you are not under the influence at any time. Now we move on to compensation. So, some ways that your employer may pay you would be direct deposit. Now, in my experience working in the city, that is usually how they'll do it. But that doesn't mean that they will always do direct deposit. For those of you that don't know what direct deposit is, it is on payday, you are automatically paid through your bank account. So what you've earned will already be on your bank account on payday. Now, not every company does this. Some companies do still do paychecks. And what you do with your paycheck, you can take it to the bank and cash it in. Or if you have an app to your phone, a lot of them, you can take a picture of it and it'll appear on your bank account in about 24 hours, just depending who you are banking with. Some companies do what's called a payroll card, and that is given from your employer. And so it's sort of like direct deposit, but given from your employer. So you can use it as a credit card, debit card, and on payday, all that what you've earned goes into your payroll card. But like I said, not every employer does this. Some employers will still pay you cash. It just depends where you work. Okay, finally, we move on to what rights that you have as an employee. Now, to begin, it is no discrimination. It is illegal for an employer not to hire you based on your race, gender, sexual origin, mental or physical, It is also illegal to discriminate and deny training or promotions based on any of those. Okay, it is also under federal law, you are entitled to a safe workplace, and that is through the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA. If many of you have heard, you do have the right to a clean environment where you work, because that is where you spend about 8 hours of your day. So you do have the right to a clean place, clean area. Okay? Your employer must provide a free of known workplace and safety hazards. Okay? Now, another thing you do have rights to is LOA. LOA stands for leave of absence. Sometimes that will include a medical leave, or if you are pregnant or expecting, you do have the right to for leave of absence if you are pregnant, whether you are male or female. Okay, now a drug test, a completion of an I-9 are basic requirements before you are hired. A direct deposit or a paycheck or a cash are some ways that you may be getting paid by your employer, and no discrimination, rights to a clean environment at your workplace are rights that you have as an employee.